Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with the weekly comic wrap. We've made it through pretty much everything else. Now it's time to wrap things up. Kicking things off, we've got Batman Santa Claus Silent Night, number 4. Where we left off, Krampus had been freeing all the various creatures that Klaus had imprisoned over the centuries, and had managed to corrupt Superman, who is following through with Krampus's plan. Krampus, meanwhile, had captured Damien. So Damien is being held in a gnome hall, though the gnomes are long dead, and arguing with a shadow form. Damien is reporting all this to Batman, though their comms aren't necessarily working. Klaus and the League are dealing with various creatures. When it comes to Superman, though, Batman has an ace up his sleeve. It has Blue Beetle use the Scarab to generate green K radiation, and two spirits leave Superman's body. However, an abominable snowman starts an avalanche. While Krampus is arguing with himself, Damien decides to play the part of being the regretful naughty child, crying for his parents, and apologizing. Hawk Girl, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman show up to help the League out of the avalanche. Superman explains that basically the ghosts were beings from the Phantom Zone. They'd been there so long that their physical forms were no longer existed, and they forgot who they were, only that they'd been imprisoned in the zone. And Klaus realizes that they used Krampus as a host, and were brought with him when he broke free. But Krampus's mind couldn't surface. They only had his memories and their own rage. The idea being that as Klaus is a woodsman, Christmas trees were so that became a part of Christmas celebrations, so that you put a Christmas tree in your home, and Klaus could hear through the tree. And he can still hear through the trees, and hears Damien crying for help. But they show up to rescue Damien. The Phantom Zone ghost is exorcised, and Klaus begins, with the help of the Justice League, finding new homes for all the other creatures that Klaus had imprisoned over the years. But Damien gets to help Santa deliver presents, while the rest of the heroes have a Christmas get-together at the North Pole, with food, drink, and of course friends. And that is where the series ends. This is a fun series. I really dug. I like the take on Santa Claus. Um, it's it's nice to see some of the folklore which inspired the concept being actually paid heed to uh, in the story. Also, kind of neat seeing Krampus utilized as well. The concept of that of Krampus in general is just kind of amusing to me. Moving on though to our next book, we've got Detective Comics number 1080. Where we left off, Catwoman was trying to get Batman's dead body out of Gotham, or at least to the Gotham docks, to where Talia al Ghul is waiting. However, it's not proving that easy. Gordon's driving like a bat out of hell. Pun actually kind of intended. Trying to avoid the Orgum forces. But the Orgums were waiting, and however, well, Two-Face was lying in wait for when the Orgums made their move. After all, Two-Face is a little pissed at the Orgums. The Orgum matriarch notes that begins to realize that her son is more his father's son than hers, and poisons him, saying that on this long life she's cursed with, she will have other husbands and other sons. That perhaps one will know what it is to be her. But Bruce is delivered to Talia. He says she will try and bring Bruce back to himself, and that Selina will likely learn, as Talia has, to wait and hope. But the journey is perilous. And in Gotham, though the Orgums would hope, Batman is not forgotten. In part due to Azrael and Batgirl still being active. And so there are things such as, a child asking her mother why Batman dresses like a bat. Apparently the mother knows, but it feels like she knows, but just forgotten. And elsewhere still, Flamingo and seemingly Dr. Hurt are discussing what to do. Apparently Dr. Hurt is claiming a part in all this madness, intending to bring forth the son that Dr. Hurt always wanted, Barbatos. And at the Wayne Manor grounds, the Question is investigating the where the body of Detective Henry Fielding was found, murdered by his own partner. And the question wants to know is why Henry Fielding had to die. Our backup story concerns Damien and some of the things and the ways in which he was raised, as well as his life, such as trying to become the new Robin, eventually becoming the new Batman. And awakening elsewhere and realizing something, maybe things just don't feel right. But that is where the issue ends. I'm really loving this this run on Detective. Ramsey is just knocked out of the park. Moving on though to our next book, we've got Harley Quinn number 35. Where we left off, Harley.exe was still on the loose. And the issue opens with Harley.exe basically sending out a mass email of herself meeting at the school. Kevin shows up. Same as some of the students. But the OMACs show up and attempt to protect everyone. Lux and Harley show up as well to figure out what's wrong, but the students have that feeling that the OMACs are familiar, but they can't figure out how. Though it seems the OMACs have an interest in well, basically assimilation. But Harley and Lux head to Earth 46 to figure out what's going on with the OMACs. Who are attempting to do weird multiversal surgeries on Harley, on Kevin and Harley's students. Kevin manages to escape, but ends up multiversally lost. On Earth 46, Harley shows up, tells Lady Quark what's going on, and apparently there's a problem with the OMACs, and in fact, well, the OMACs can also take over Lady Quark, which they do. But Lady Quark's daughter joins the fight against Brother Eye, as do the Earth 48 versions of Bud and Lou, who have always been on Harley's side. But Lux informs Harley that basically Kevin is lost in the multiverse. Our backup story Harley, Croc, and a talking bird go into a basically pulling Indiana Jones, going into an ancient jungle temple, which has an icon that looks suspiciously like Croc. Various booby traps. The prize inside is apparently a kryptonite statue of the Joker. But the temple's collapsing. And Harley barely escapes in time to wake up and realize she went to bed with the window open. And that is where the issue ends. Should be interesting to see what happens with the Omax. And it'll be, honestly, it'll be nice to see Kevin and, or hopefully see Kevin and Harley reunited. I liked Kevin in the previous run. I'm hoping that it'd be nice to have Kevin back as a recurring character. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Penguin, number 5. Where we left off, the Penguin was recruiting, and he had managed to get a consigliere in the form of his ex-wife. So he's continuing to recruit. Black Spider has been doing enforcer work for the Penguin's kids. Basically keeping keeping dealers out of the Cobblepot's turf. The usual idea is leave one of the dealers alive, and well, instead he opts to kill them all and leave a note. But Black Spider isn't working for money from the Cobblepots. He's getting venom for his boyfriend. His boyfriend's sick. Venom basically kind of knocks out the what Danny's got. But and of course, for screwing up as he was told to do, doesn't get near as much. But these screw-ups happening. Another screw-up happens, which leads to a run-in with Batman. Black Spider leaves Gotham by jumping into the river. Pulls himself out, but the Penguin kids have kidnapped Black Spider's boyfriend. Takes a beating from the Penguin's daughter. Agrees to continue working for the Cobblepots, but instead of getting venom anymore, now he works to ensure that his boyfriend survives another few days. So, if Oswald's back, Black Spider's in. Seems that Cobblepot figures he's got his muscle, his goons, his consigliere, and now he's a spy. He believes he's ready for Gotham City, though he very much doubts that Gotham City is prepared for Penguin and his new crew. And that is where the issue ends. This book has been a massive surprise. I never would have guessed that a book focusing on the Penguin would be one of my favorite comics to read month by month. but here we are. Moving on, though, to our last book for the week, we've got Batman Beyond, Neo-Gothic, number 6, wrapping up the miniseries. Where we left off, what remains of John Constantine is bonded with the Garden, and has erupted from the Gotham Undercity, and is becoming, well, the Overcity. So, the signal is lit. Apparently there's one thing everyone's saying, and it's, save us, Batman. But, Kyle is arguing with John, as Kyle mainly went down there to find John and return John's curses to John. They butt heads a bit. The Gordon protocols are enacted. Basically, anyone who opts into the Gordon protocols gets to become Batman, at least for a moment. But when basically being an honest jerk to Constantine didn't work, Kyle tries just being honest. And does something that no one probably ever thought to do. He forgives John. Meanwhile, most of Gotham's citizens are turning into Batman. Terry outs himself as Batman as well. And so, like most of Gotham's citizens are turning into Batman and dealing with the Garden as well as King Croc. Well, things are, the tide has turned. John Constantine passes. His curses return to him. And Gotham now has some interesting plant life. Lumos is in the wind. And basically things are being done to make sure that, well, problems that basically people are taken care of, rather than just all the people as many people as possible are taken care of, at least, rather than just the select few that can pay to be taken care of. And the series ends with Terry making a phone call to his ex-girlfriend, Dana. After all, Terry does owe her some answers. And that is where the series ends. And that's going to do it for this week's Roundup. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Mastodon, Patreon, PayPal, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard. Happy New Year, everyone.